a message about friends. Yes. So I know it's Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Some of you are snowed in. So hopefully you decided to spend some time with me this morning. It's Sunday, the first day of the work week. So I'm at work. So for all of my church friends, you can come and watch me later unless you're stuck in the house this morning and you want to join me this morning. That would be wonderful too. Because I love you. You know what? One of the things that I think that makes the world go round is love. Absolutely, positively, love. When they asked Yeshua what was the greatest commandment, and he was saying, basically he said love, 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 love. That's the greatest commandment. Loving one another and treating people the way you would like to be treated. Right? That's a good sign that you love somebody when you're treating that person the way that you want to be treated. And interestingly enough, I heard someone say that treating your family like a friend is good in the sense that how would you respond to your friend? Would you talk to your friend in that tone or in that manner? Because if you wouldn't talk to your friend in that tone or that manner, then don't talk to your family in that tone or that manner. Doesn't that make sense? It's also these simple things that we don't think about. We don't necessarily put the two and two together, but it's so true. One of the things that I did as part of my practice was I joined the Jerry Spence Trial Lawyers College. I was one of the few people in the country that was able that applied and was able to get into this very prestigious trial lawyers college out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, operated previously by the great attorney Jerry Spence. Jerry Spence was very renowned in his practice. He represented Imelda Marcos and some other very, very famous people because he was an excellent attorney. So he decided that an attorney, the best attorneys, the best trial lawyers, which I was, were those who have a very broad perspective on life that could decide that what was important to them. Of course, their practice was important. Of course, their winning was important. Who wants to go into court and lose a case? Nobody, nobody. So one of the things that he wanted to relay and to instill in us was the value of having a well-rounded life. So, and being well-rounded means exploring what you love, what your gifts, your other gifts, your other abilities, exploring those, making sure that they are also part of who you are because it makes you a better person. And so that was one of the things that I took away from that training was that I was more than just a lawyer. I was a mom. I was a friend. I was a sister, a cousin, an auntie. So you wear so many hats every day. And so one of those things about that I took from there was about how to just be the best person you can be and present yourself. And my kids always tell me, Mom, take me off the witness stand because I will drill you if I'm your friend, if it get to the point of the matter. But that's what brings me to the subject today about friends, about friendships in midlife. During your midlife and beyond, how to cultivate friends. Oh, cheers from London. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Love you all too. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you take away something today. I hope you become a better friend. I hope that you become a better friend after listening to this 30 minutes. It's only 30 minutes. It's going to go quickly. And I try not to go over my time because I respect your time. But we're talking about friends. And so I was invited to a party over the weekend, and I was invited to a party over the weekend, and it was a very eclectic group. I'm not sure if that's the word, but this beautiful young lady's from Houston. She's living in the District of Columbia region, and so her friends were from all age groups. I was probably the oldest kid on the block. And there were some other people that were, most of them were in their probably 30s because it was her 35th birthday party. And I looked around the room and well, listen, I love people. I love observing people. I don't like everybody because everybody's not likable. And that's kind of what I'm trying to help you with today. Be more likable, be more approachable, be more of a friend. So, but anyway, the group was from 35 on up. And there was some, actually, she had someone there she wanted me to meet, but it was interesting. It didn't. He wasn't my cup of tea, but that's okay. It doesn't mean we can't be friends. Um, but anyway, so it brought me to thinking about today, about midlife, how we bond, how we establish friendships, and how we carry those through our lives. I know that I, for one, have always liked to be a friend. My mom told me one time, God bless my mom, she said, Stacy, the one thing I can say about you is if someone has a friend in you, they truly have a friend. And coming from my mom, that meant so much because she observed her children and she really was interested in making sure that we were healthy, happy and whole. And so I just love that compliment. And maybe that's what led me to be a YouTuber and come to you all because I kind of want to be your friend, right? So, but back to how this affects you in midlife. So, depending on what your trajectory is in life, some of you are college educated, some of you have a trade, some of you may have a job that you love, and some of you may have a job you hate. But all of us are consistently surrounded by people, and and in that regard, we have to decide: are we going to have a relationship versus association? Are you going to have a relationship with some of the people around you, or just merely an association? And how do you decide that? How do you decide who is going to be your friend and who is going to merely remain in the associate category? So, looking around, like I said, I saw the bonds that were at the party. I saw some people trying to hook up. It was cute. And so that's what made me think about it so deeply last night and this morning is how much do our friends affect our lives, and how important is it for you to be a friend, right? Because a friend in need is a friend indeed, and a friend is born for adversity. Meaning, if you look around and you are in need of something, but you have nobody to call, you have nobody to rely on. It's just you, and you feel that burn of just being you. But maybe it's because you didn't make yourself a friend. Maybe you didn't take the time, the effort, and the work to be a friend. So therefore, maybe the person that you're looking at in the mirror is a person you need to start with in terms of cultivating friendships. Do you stay in touch with people from the past? Is it important for you to stay in touch with people from the past? Or have you cut them off and you started fresh? I'm not sure what the answer is. However, I know that I really totally enjoy getting on the phone with my old girlfriends, reminiscing, old male friends, reminiscing, talking stuff, because I have a certain comfortability and confidence in speaking with them. I've developed trust. We've developed trust with each other. And so we have that comfortability. So that was my question that today is how do we establish friendships? And one of the things that came to mind this morning was the show Facts of Life. Does anybody remember that show from 1979? It featured my one of my favorite actors is Kim Field. She played Tootie. She was the one that apparently her role was more of the one that was the gossipy one. And then you had Charlotte Rae, Edna, the house mother, who was trying to get these girls to where they needed to be as how in the house, right? They needed to get along. We all had to get along. We're all in this boat together. So that was one of her role. And then we had Lisa Weichel. She was Blair. She was the anyway. And so anyway, so one of the things that the show taught you was here was a theme. Here was a beautiful theme. And I don't own the rights to this statement, but I can make it because it's for public consumption. It says, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. You get that? So, and I have a saying, it's all good. I say it's all good, whether or not it's something, the most craziest thing can happen to me. And I said, it's all good. It's all good because at some point I'll figure out why it happened, right? And I want to give you this little midlife tip. Your mistakes are a message. It's not a stop sign. Please understand that. A mistake is a message. It's not a stop sign. And what it could be, but typically if you're doing something, you're new at it, you're going to make mistakes. And those mistakes give you messages like, okay, maybe you thought maybe you should go to this direction, but maybe you need to tweak it a little bit and go that direction. Or maybe you thought you could partner with this person, but it turned out that partnership didn't work out. So now you need to explore other partnerships. So that's kind of the message. The good, the bad, it all comes together. It's a fact of life. Oh, and one more. Oh my gosh. I used to have a prayer Bible that had it was a Bible rather that had prayers in the back of it, and I still say this prayer. It was so long ago. Hey, Philippines. I hope you guys with weather is better than mine. I'm in a snowstorm. Actually, it's going to snow consistently for about 6 hours. It's crazy. We're supposed to get a lot of snow. So anyway, so I hope everyone's safe and warm. But anyway, so in this Bible, in the back of the Bible, it had prayers, and this is a prayer, and I don't have it in completion. It's just I've kind of extrapolated things from the prayer, and I've said this prayer over the years, and this is a zinger. It said, "Lord, give me a plain spoken friend." Ooh, ooh, who can handle that? If we're in our feelings, how can we handle a plain spoken friend? I'm trying to be your plain spoken friend, right? That though I may smite under their criticism, I still value their honesty. I value their friendship. They're important to me, and I want to be important to them. So I thank God for my plain spoken friends, because if we agree on everything, one of us is not necessary. I love that saying too. So that is the reason why it's so important to cultivate friendships. Cultivate. Did you hear that word? Cultivate. You cultivate by pouring into something, making sure that everything is okay, being honest, being very honest with your friend, being honest with yourself, right? So that's what I want to bring to you all. And you know what? And so, oh, one more thing. I used to tell my children, because I really believe this when they were young, and I still believe it today, because like my mom said to me, no man is an island. No man lives alone. As much as you might want to go and hide out from this crazy world and these crazy people, it's not realistic. It's not. And everyone needs somebody. Don't let anybody tell you you don't need a friend. You don't need a man or a woman in your life. I mean, because that's not true. We were born to be together. We were born to hold each other's hands and hug each other and give each other encouragement. That's part of what we were born to do, to love. Because remember what the Messiah said, love. That's the greatest gift. Love, love, love. If we loved each other the way we're supposed to love each other, would we even need a law? Would we even need criminal laws? Would we even need crime laws on the books? If we truly, truly loved each other, I wouldn't hurt you. You wouldn't hurt me. My words in my mouth would encourage you, would lift you up, would be honest to you. We wouldn't even need all of that if we really practiced what we were supposed to be. Love. We're supposed to be love, y'all. We're supposed to be love. We are definitely supposed to be love. Okay, so one of the things I taught my children, and I thought it was very important to tell them this, is that what's most important growing up, and I'm happy to say my children are friends, and they have good friends. They have good friend circles. I tell my kids, it's not the car that you drive that will make you. It's not the house that you live in that'll make you. It ain't the job you go to every day that'll make you happy. It's the people that are in your life. It's who you bring into your circle. That's what matters. Those friends will make you get up in the morning and go to work, right? If you got friends on the job, they're the ones that'll make you, when you're down and out, feel better. I mean, your friends are there for a purpose. They're there to lift you up. They're the most important thing. And that beautiful car, yes, I love picking up my friends in my new fancy car. Let's go let's go ride my new car. Friends. I want to impress my friends. And I want to be impressed by my friends, right? So, develop a friend circle. Developing a friend circle is so important. And I'm not here to tell you how to do that. I do know that this is going to get me in trouble with my Christian friends a little bit, but I do believe that I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo the lion. I mean, I am her. I'm I'm a Leo the lion, and I found out my little circle are Aries, fire, Sagittarians, Geminis, and that's my little circle. And it's really strange about that because I was talking to my friend last night, and when the car we were coming back from the party, and we had a little debate about that because I don't believe in being able to pick up a newspaper and read something about your day is going to go great today because blah blah blah. I don't believe that. I think that's ridiculousness. I think that's almost getting it borderline. I think it's witchcraft, honestly. But because everybody's not going to have the same experience just because the moon, the sun, and the stars are lining up. I just don't believe that. However, so she pointed out to me it's all part of the same genre. It's all part of the same thing, even though I've delineated the fact that I will not read my horoscope, but I will examine my friendships based on their birth sign. And I gotta be really careful with this because I am born again, but I do believe, and take an inventory. Take an inventory. Do you have friends that you really, really feel so easily you can communicate with them? And I know people who don't know people's signs at all, and that's perfectly fine. And they just seem to be able to gel with the right people. That's perfectly fine. However, I kind of use it as a tool in my toolbox. Like, okay, so this person is maybe let's say an Aquarius. So I have a lot of them in my family, and I don't know if you know anything about the Aquarians. They need a lot of good soil around them because they don't do stress very well, and I can stress you out because I am so hyper. I'm all over the place. I calm myself down. I take myself out of the group chat. I take myself away from people because I can see that I'm annoying people when I'm in, sometimes because I'm so like and that's a bit much, but that's who I am. I'm gonna be me, right? Be you. Promise yourself to be you too. But anyway. So we can't get along to save our soul. I mean, and I'll be able to soul. I'm sorry. I just went off on a little bit because I don't think we have a soul. I think we are a soulish beings, but we're spirit beings, and that's what needs to rule us is our spirit, right? And the Holy Spirit. Anyway, so Aquarians. Oh, I had an Aquarius friend. I've had her for years, like years. We went to church together. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you a cute little story. We were in church one day. This is when I used to go to church on Sunday, and the Lord told me to take her hand while we were praying. The pastor said, we're going to pray, grab the person next to you's hand. Everybody's not going to do that. You don't have to. But I heard in my spirit to take her hand. So I took her hand and she received it. She let me take her hand. And so then we prayed. We made a prayer. We said a prayer together. The prayer that the pastor was leading us in, we said it together. And afterwards, we decided to meet for coffee and get to know one another. And it turned out we learned that the Lord laid on both of our hearts to hold each other's hand. And so we became friends and close friends. And however, there was just a lot between us that built up over the years. And maybe that's part of being a friend too, is not letting things build up, having honest communication. But things built up over the years. And she told me, and now she is listen, I know she would not like this conversation. I know she would say, why are we talking about horoscopes and and excuse me, and the like, right? Because because I believe it's part of the stars, it's part of everything, right? So that's kind of why I think it's not something that we necessarily have to follow in our lives, but it's information. Okay. So one day, I haven't talked to her in a while. We've kind of split a little bit, but for a season, we've done that too. So one day she said to me, I've always known that you're a Leo. And I don't know why we don't get along so much. And so I studied your sign, and I found out you're prideful, you're blah blah blah. All the things about my sign that were kind of on the negative tip. And so I was like, well, yeah, I am all those things, but I work on them. I work on me all the time. I try to be less of what I should not be and more of what I should be. So anyway, so she said, I kind of researched it, and I kind of see where you are and where I am. And so at that point, we have decided to sort of cool off the friendship for a while, because when we were talking on the phone, it got kind of heated and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It just wasn't comfortable anymore. That friendship sort of, I don't know. Do friendships take their course? I think that they do. I think some friendships do take their course, and we switch in and out of those relationships, and I think that's okay as well. But anyway, so that's it. This is what I wrote this down, the scripture for today, since this is a faith-based channel. So if you allow me to read this for today, because this is why, how I prepare for the show. I pray, review scriptures, and then kind of look over my life, because it's what I've gone through to help you, because I think experience is the best teacher. And so therefore, I think that it's important for me to just be authentic with you all, and that's who I am. So I'm definitely Bible based. But listen to what Yeshua said. That Yeshua's in Hebrew. Jesus is Greek. Okay, so it says, and Yeshua said unto them, "You are they." He was talking to a group of people. "You are they which justify yourselves before men, but Father knows your hearts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of Abba, our Father." Right? I'm going to read that again, and I want you to listen to that, because I had to read it twice. "And Yeshua said unto them, You are they which justifies yourselves before men, but Abba knows what's in your heart. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Father." So what's highly esteemed in our society right now? The car you drive, the house you live in, the job you go to. Because what's the first thing someone says? "Oh, what do you do?" I hate that question. When I'm out and I'm mingling with people, I hate that question. And then, because let me tell you why. When I tell them I'm a lawyer, all of a sudden it's like, "Ooh, okay, well, let me see how smart you are." Or, "Oh, let me show you how smart I am." Anyway, it's ridiculous. But that's the point. I think that's the point that God is making through his son. He's saying, look, what you value may not be valuable at all. What you've esteemed may not even be what I esteem for you. Because remember, he put us on this planet together, right? If you are here in 2026, you are supposed to be here. You got to figure out why, but you're supposed to be here. And what is the most important thing to you? Ask yourself today, like, what is the most important thing? If things started leaving me one by one, the house, the car, the job, what's standing? Hopefully it's a friend. Hopefully it's a friend. Hopefully it's a friend that says, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're going through this." Or, "You need $5,000. Those are really special friends, aren't they? When they can hand you $5,000 and not sweat it. They're only special because that's your need in the moment, right? I'm not saying go out and be a gold digger and look for high value friends that have money that can get you out of a pickle. But I'm just saying, but it's just nice to know that you've cultivated relationships where people have that much trust in you, to know that, look, she's down right now. I might be down next week. She's down this week. Let me give her this, whatever it is she needs, so that she can get back up, right? That's a friend. A friend is born for adversity. But you have to first show yourself friendly to be a friend. You can't expect a deep, loving friendship if you don't know how to be a friend. If you don't know how to pick up that phone and call that person and say, "I've been thinking about something that you said," or "I've been thinking about you," or "I've been thinking about whatever, maybe you've just been on my mind lately, you've been on my heart, and I'm gonna pick up that phone and call you." Even if the last conversation before that was hard and maybe kind of mean or whatever, but you say, "You know what? I'm gonna cultivate this friendship because this friendship is important. This friendship matters. Yeah, I actually need my friend. I do." Multiples of friends. And friends have levels. There's close, your inner circle. Be very tight with your inner circle. Be very tight with your inner circle. Make sure everybody in your inner circle you trust implicitly. Those are the ones that you tell your deep, dark secrets to. And if you don't have anybody like that, I don't know what to tell you, but you really want a friend that you can tell your deep dark secrets to, and they're not going to come back, and they're not going to present themselves on social media, or hey, they get in a financial bind, and somebody TMZ calls and says, hey, I heard you're friends with so and so. Can you give us the skinny? Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. So guard your secrets with your most closest and precious friends, but be a friend. I mean, learn how to be a friend. It's not that bad. I mean, some of them are hard. Thank you for the hearts and stuff. Some of them are hard. I'm gonna give you that. And like I said, me and my bestie, we had to take a break. We had to take a break, even though God put us together in church that day. We knew that there was too much building up between us, and I didn't want to say something that was hurtful to her because I'm in my feelings. And I think she got to the point too where she didn't want to say something hurtful to me. So I pray about that. I pray that God brings her back in my life when we're both ready to approach this friendship from a different angle. But again, I think that there are certain people that come into your life to challenge you as well, though. Hey, to test who you really are. Because you know what? You think you something. You think you something until you tried. Is that not true? You think you're a good person until somebody teased you off, and then you cuss them out. That might make you a bad person, but it makes you kind of maybe bad in the moment, right? He's like, oh my gosh, I should have exercised a little more self-control. I shouldn't have said that. And then you know what the bigger person does? Apologizes. You call that friend and say, hey, I was wrong. I was sincere, but I was sincerely wrong. And if you can admit that you're wrong to your friend, that's a bond. That's how your bond builds. Because look, I just was wrong. I don't know what came over me. It could have been my hormones that day because our hormones circled through, and it could be anything. But a friend is willing to call the person and say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." So let's get deeper. Can we commit to get deeper in 2026 into relationships? Because I have a feeling the way this world is going, yeah, you're gonna need your friends more than ever. Yeah, I think going forward, you're gonna need your friends more than ever. And what does that come through? Discernment. So that's the word I'm gonna leave you with. We've got like about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna leave you with this word, discernment. Someone called me. I'm working on a project that is very dear to my heart. It's about exposing a false religion. Um, and I'm not going to go into that right now, but it's about exposing a false religion. And she told me, she said, hey, I need you to be really careful. The Lord brought me this word for you, and the word is discernment. And I think that's a good word for all of us that's listening right now. Discernment. Discerning what friendships you need to keep, discerning what relationships you have to let go because they're not healthy. They're not healthy for you. They're not healthy for the other person. And I think sometimes, I just want to say this, sometimes we stay in a relationship unfairly. How do I explain this? We know that we're not really good for that person, or that person's not really good for us, and that we're creating some toxicity between us, but that person has something that you desire. Okay? And so we'll hang on to that relationship for that selfishness, right? You'll say, well, this person, you know, she gives me a ride every morning to work, so I'm gonna deal with this, or whatever it is. But that relationship is not healthy. That relationship is not good. That is just a bad scene. But yet you selfishly hang on to that. Do them a favor and do yourself a favor. Also examine your circle and find out who you need to let go of. Even if it's just for a season, just because they're going through something that you can't help them with. Because sometimes the only person who can help them is their therapist. And I'm going to give you a little tip about that. I had a friend, well, I always call her a strong associate. She was going through something horrible, and she had a therapist. So she would go to her therapy session and then call me and then rant, rant, and I would try to, give her some advice and stuff. And finally, I said, let me can I talk to your therapist? Because this is really important to you and it's important to me. And when I talked to her therapist, he said, listen, here's what's happening. I'm telling her what to do. I'm giving her the hard life lesson. I'm telling her, you need to change this, 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 and this. Then she gets on the phone and calls you and tries to justify her behaviors. And I'm her friend, so I'm thinking, yeah, girl, let me encourage you, rah, rah, rah. He says, no, 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 don't do that. For her sake and for the sake of her her therapy, don't do that. Don't let her dump on you like that, because I've already told her this is what she needs to do. She's trying to talk herself out of what I told her to do. So, and I became mindful of that. And so I checked her. I was like, no, 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 no. I'm not your therapist. As a matter of fact, I had somebody call me the other day and they wanted to sort of dump on me and I wasn't in the mood. And I was like, girlfriend, I think I'm gonna let you go to your therapist on that one. So just keep that in mind too, because a friend in need is a friend indeed, but a true friend will tell the truth. Right? So anyway, I just want to say that to you. And we're almost out of time. Oh, how quickly the time goes. But I want to share something with you that my desk is covered with stuff I want to share with you, like tips at the end, like a little midnight tip, because we're only at 30 minutes. If you have not read this book right here, Hunger Games, I read this book this summer while I was. Oh, hi, Ray. Welcome back. I read this when I was down in Miami. Well, I was reading it during that period of time. The Hunger Games. Girl, guys, I'm telling you, it's this one. It's the first one. The Hunger Games, the beginning. Wow. Are we not in Hunger Games? Wow. Did this book not teach you about associations, affiliations, and how to make sure you're affiliated with the right person for the right reason at the right moment? So I'm just going to offer you to read this book and come back and let me know. I might start a book club because I love to read. But anyway, that's it. It's 30 minutes. Thank you all. I can't see all who tuned in because, hi, Evan Almighty. And I already said hi to you, Ray. Those are branches of your tree. Oh yeah, branches of your tree that need to be clipped. Absolutely, absolutely. Dye my grays. Why? Why? You know what? Because I'm at the age that I am, I don't think it'll be natural looking, and I just want to be me, y'all. But I have thought about it. Trust me. It says okay, so Evan, you're full of the devil this morning. You need some friends. What you need? You need Jesus. Okay. What is the world's oldest language? Is it Aramaic? Okay. All right. What am I? What are you? I'm African American. I'm African American. What else? Oh, love is life. Isn't it, Liz? Yes, sweetheart, it certainly is. No, I did not pass gas, darling. I'm trying not to be rude, and I wish you were trying not to be rude as well. Yes, we addressed that. So, yeah, guys. So you know what? Apparently, there's a lot of people out here that need to be loved, and they didn't know how to love. They didn't learn that lesson about loving, and so they come on your live and they say mean things, and so, but I want them to know that God loves them. They have a Father in heaven. We were created by a supreme being. And so, you know what I say? I'm going to end with this because we're a little over time. Yes, it says, we express our gratitude. We must never forget that the highest appreciation is nothing other words but to live by them. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, I lost my train of thought on that one. All right, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But I just want you to know that our Father in heaven loves us, and we're not sent here to be anything but a vessel for good, not for evil. So just remember that. Be a vessel for good and not for evil. So thank you guys. Please. Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. 3311. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. I'll see you next Sunday. Come back at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning and bring a friend. Okay? And be a friend. Bring a friend and be a friend and bring a friend. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Remember, Sunday's the first day of the week. Make it good, make it prosperous. Do all you can to help others. Okay? Yes. All right. I'm going to end it now. Bye bye.